Welcome to the Creative Business TV show where we help you make a success of your creative business. I'm your host Kylie Carlson, and this is a little segment of the show we like to call Ask Kylie. And today's question comes from Lauren in Sydney, Australia. Hi Kylie, love the show. Thank you. As a new wedding planning and styling business, I've ended up offering my services to friends for free to get exposure. It has ended up taking a lot more of my time than I had anticipated and can afford to devote to it. How do I take control of my time back? Great question, Lauren. You know, this is a very common thing to happen for people when they first start out in business. What else do you do when you have no experience or testimonials? You offer your services gratis. Exactly what you've done, Lauren. The issue you've got is you haven't drawn any parameters around it. You know, it makes no difference whether they're a paying client or not. It doesn't matter whether they're friends. You need to treat them in exactly the same way as you would with any other client. Now, I realize this is easier said than done, but trust me when I say it's the only way. There's a reason we use the old adage, don't mix business with pleasure. And that is because it's so much harder to fire a friend than it is a client. You know, when we take on a new client, we usually issue them with a contract. Sets out the boundaries, the limitations around what's being offered and what they can expect. It's a bit like a map that guides them through the process. Now, if you aren't giving them this, which I suspect you're not, they've got nothing to guide them. You know, in some ways, it's even more important to lay out the expectations ahead of time with a freebie client than it is with paying clients, because your freebie clients are more likely to take advantage, especially if they're your friend. So, before you start dishing out your services for free, you need to think about what it is you want to get out of this arrangement. So at the end of the day, your freebie clients are getting a really good deal out of you. But what are you getting in return? You can't work for free completely. There has to be something in it for you. And in this case, it's experience and testimonials. That's already been established. But that's not all. You have to set the boundaries around that. So what I mean by that is before agreeing to do these types of things, you've got to sit down and think very, very hard about the time you can afford to dedicate to this. And maybe instead of doing the whole thing for them, perhaps identify areas they're struggling with and agree to do those with them doing the rest. Whatever it is, you've got to be very firm on this and put it down in writing. Tell them the hours you've got available and the ones you don't. Outline what you're prepared to do and what you're not prepared to do. Let them know that you want to treat them in the same way as you treat a paying client, and you want to give them a professional service, and that includes a contract that clearly states what you can offer. Now, most people will probably appreciate this, and they're going to enjoy being part of the journey. But Lauren, you can't just offer to plan or style someone's wedding for free with no rules around it. That doesn't make good business sense for anyone. First thing I want you to do is work out how many hours you have available in your schedule to work with what we're going to call freebie clients. Then I want you to decide what services you're prepared to offer your freebie clients. And finally, I want you to draw up a services agreement, aka a contract. And it needs to outline everything above that we've just talked about. And you need to remember to include things like times you can be available to answer phone calls and emails, that type of thing. And put a limit on the number of emails and phone calls included within your freebie package. Oh, and finally, don't forget to draft up a paragraph that clearly states what you expect from them in return. Now, that might be images to use on your website. It might be written, or better still, video testimonials. It might be shout outs on social media, a combination of everything I just said, or something else entirely. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you've got to be clear and make sure it's included in your services agreement. So if your freebie clients aren't prepared to sign this, then my advice to you is that you need to politely decline to work with them. Start off as you mean to carry on, professionally. And that doesn't matter whether, like I said, whether they're free or paying clients, it's irrelevant. You're still offering a service and they are still clients. So the same rules apply. Now, this doesn't necessarily help with the current freebie clients you're working with, Lauren, but it will help you in the future. As always, I want to hear from you. Have you been in the same situation as Lauren? Have you dealt with freebie clients? Leave your comments below so we can all learn from each other in this wonderful creative community of ours. That's all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Ask Kylie and that you'll join me next week when I answer more of your creative business questions. Don't forget to show us some love. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment, do whatever you want. And if you want to stay more connected to us, come to kyliecarlson.co and get on my mailing list. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next week.